everybody. Okay, we're going to give it just a minute or two before we actually start, just to make sure that if there's a few more people or anything like that want to come in. But for now, I am going to switch to the craft screen. You can kind of see what I've got going on over here, and I can fill you in a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a few things going on over here. This is one of our tester candles, and I do have it lit. As you can see, it's been lit for a couple hours. Now the smell in here is absolutely gorgeous, so scent wise, perfect. This particular container we are not going to be using for production. I actually picked out different ones because I am trying to keep our costs a little low for our customers. So instead of going with the full-on glass, which can get a little expensive, I went with two different colors here, and two different sizes. So we've got these here, okay, and these are metal, okay, but they are adorable. Aren't they adorable? This is a little 4-ounce container. And this is our 8-ounce container. Okay. So we've got these in both black and white. Not everybody likes black and not everybody likes white. So we got each. Okay, same thing. The lids are metal. They just have that kind of pine coloring on it and grain. Not textured, but it looks like it has a wood grain. Okay, and then the black one. Very simple. So with those, we're going to be doing two different types of candles. We'll have just the normal scented candles, and then I'm going to have a crystal series as well. And those are actually going to have crystal chips on the top, and those will be done in these small containers, these little 4-ounce. These will be my crystal candles. And then the bigger ones will just be simple scented candles. Okay, and as you can see, I've got this lovely, lovely articulated dragon sitting here. Let me actually turn on the big light. It'll get bright for a second. There we go. So, I did most of the cleanup on her already. See if I can get nice and close there. Not quite, because I don't have a light on the other side. Alright. But, as you can see, she is not a small dragon. If I take my ruler, which I'm going to have to do more than once here. Okay, so we've got, let's do this there. Here. Okay, so she is 25 inches long, roughly. So she is a beauty. I did most of the cleanup on her already, which, what I mean by cleanup, sorry, eyeball itchy. And let's see if I can't, I don't know if y'all will be able to see any of that. I'll have to switch to the other screen, 1 second. Okay. You can see this little piece hanging off of here, okay? That's what we mean by cleanup. Okay, we take, depending on how thick the little piece is coming off, most of the time we can just take a pair of tweezers and pull it right off. Other times, little set of clippers, and it's all good now. It's all gone. I mainly left that one on just so I could explain what I mean when I say we're doing cleanup. And because it is a 3D printer, you do get some webbing. Very, very fine filaments where it's transitioning between the two. And when that happens, I've got, handy little heat wand here that I quickly go over, and I say quickly because this is PLA filament, so you don't want to heat it up too much. You will melt it. So I take the heat wand to it very quickly, and it takes care of those webs nice and easy. And let me go back to the crack screen again. This is what you get. So this is our beautiful articulated cherry blossom dragon. She is absolutely my favorite so far from the Cinderwings collections. And I definitely give that woman props because I couldn't create something like this, especially the fact that they are, print in place. We don't have to put any of this together. It prints just like this, already articulated and everything. And speaking of prints, now I know I have told y'all before that Design Creations is doing our prints for now until we manage to get our own bamboo printer, because we are being very picky and we specifically want a bamboo. And this dragon is the perfect example of why. Alright, let me switch back to the main screen again. We started this print on, let's see, it's April, March 23rd, last month. Okay, and when it got to 89%, the printer said no more, and we ended up having to troubleshoot and figure out what was wrong with the printer, which we did. It turned out that there was a couple of compression fittings, one in the hot end and one in the AMS unit that feeds the filament. The compression fittings have these tiny little teeth in there, metal teeth, but they break very, very easily, and so both of those parts had to be replaced. And Design Creations just got the last piece, which was the hub for the AMS, because unfortunately you can't just replace the compression fitting, you had to replace the entire hub assembly, which is underneath the AMS unit. It's just this little, little piece, odd shaped thing. But it worked out really great because, during this entire month as we were troubleshooting and everything, this poor cherry blossom dragon sat on the bed of the printer for almost an entire month waiting to possibly be able to finish. And, I am so thoroughly impressed with Bamboo and their systems. No, this isn't sponsored in any way. I'm just that impressed with this printer. Because almost a month after starting the print, and turning the machine off and on several times, replacing parts, replacing, the entire lines of tubing and everything. Once everything was repaired, she started up beautifully and finished that last 11%. She does have a slight hiccup on the horns from where she resumed, a month later. But I'm okay with that because she is now our display. So she won't be sold because she has that slight hiccup, and that's okay. We're okay with that. We will be expecting our printer hopefully in the next week or so. It's already been ordered. We're just waiting for it to get here. There it comes from, I believe the printer is actually coming from China. I could be wrong, but I'd have to ask my wife, excuse me, where it's being shipped from, because I know the AMS unit, the filament feeder, we ordered an extra one of those as well, and that actually came today. But that one came out of here in the U.S., so I'm not 100% sure how they work that as far as where they ship them from and everything. It's possible they just had an AMS here at a warehouse, but they don't have the printer here at a warehouse, because we bought directly from Bamboo. There's reasons behind that too. But okay, so, and yeah, she's gonna stay here for a while. She's good. I have, as you can see, it's a brand new warmer, not the same one we had last time. That one is actually on the other side of this one. And the wax is already in here, heating up and everything. It should be just about ready. I just had to turn the temperature up just slightly to bring it up to the 180 that we need. Because we are going to be pouring these 4 candles here with the new containers. Let me switch back screens here again. Okay, so we will be using those containers. Oh, I forgot this one. It's not a container. It's what the container goes in. So on every candle purchase, we got these beautiful little shiny, kind of textured little boxes. I don't have the packing material for them yet, because there will be a little bit of stuff in there. One candle will fit right in there. So, these are another new little feature. These are the boxes for our candles. Okay, so we got that. Alright, now you can see a little bit behind me other than my robe laying on the bed. Might be better to switch to the other screen. Okay, hold on. And I'm going to tilt my laptop just slightly and bring the camera down. Okay. Yeah, don't mind the pink robe. It's everything else you want to see. Okay, so you can see the bag on top of the little cases. Those little cases have all my crystal chips in them. And that bag on top of them, right here, gotta figure out where I'm pointing here, is actually 10 pounds of wax for my melts and tarts. Because we are going to try that wax out for those and kind of see how they turn out. Because if I can get all my stuff from the same place, I'm one happy camper, because that means less shipping costs, which translates to lower prices on my products because I'm saving money, so you guys save money. And trust me, if I can cut costs, I'm going to. Thankfully, the supplier that I chose for our wax and our fragrances and everything isn't that far away. It's literally a 2.5 hour drive away from me. I could pick the stuff up if I wanted to, but it depends on what I'm ordering. Sometimes it's just cheaper to have it shipped with gas prices nowadays. Anyway, so that's the melt and tart wax, and you can see right on the bag, melt and tart soy wax. It's pure soy wax. And then next to that You see a little bamboo tray with a lot of bottles on it. That's all of our fragrance oils, except for the one we're going to be working with today. And then next to that, you see over here, that is a new business printer. And I got that because I have this little home printer that I've been using to print our labels and everything like that. And while it does beautifully, don't get me wrong, but I kind of wanted something that can, pack a little bit more punch. So that one will definitely do that, and it comes with an ink subscription, so I don't have to worry about ink either. I start running low, and they will automatically send me ink. Behind that, you'll see a white box. That is a 16-inch by 16-inch studio box. That's how I take my photographs, or at least it will be. So my product photos will look a lot better. Okay. Behind me, sitting on the floor, which you can't see, is a big box full of 45 pounds of container wax. Now, 2 weeks ago we did a stream. We did these two candles, and I used a different wax because I was testing that particular wax, and let me tell you something, I hate it. I don't say that about a lot of things, but this particular wax, I can't stand it. It took so much work to be able to get these to have a smooth top and to look decent through the glass. It has a severe frosting problem, which, for me, frosting usually isn't a bad thing. It just shows that you're using, a soy wax. So usually frosting for me doesn't bother me. Even my wax melts with the wax I was using for those frosted a bit, which no big deal. I don't have a problem with the frosting, except for when it does it on the edges, inside. And that's a no-no, because then I gotta heat that and try to get that away. And it had so many cave-ins, holes, tunneling, you name it, everything was wrong with this candle. And to be fair, 2 weeks ago, I kind of forgive my language, I kind of half-assed a lot. Putting the cart before the horse and that kind of thing. But we are doing things very differently this week. And I realized after the stream, and when I woke up the next day, I went, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe I even said that. I was very tired that day, so I am so sorry. I had said something along the lines of, because the candle had, or because this particular wax had already cured, I don't have to let it cure again, or something along those lines. No, that's soap. That's not candles, that's soap. And I apologize, because I do both. I do the candles and I do soaps. So apparently information that day just kind of got all jumbled in my head. Okay, so from here, let's take our little blossom here, put her down, and I'll move her out of the way here in a minute to somewhere safe. Right now, where is my, okay. We are going to give that a quick stir. Okay, so as you've probably guessed, because most of this stuff is new, we are testing out a brand new warmer, or melter I should say, not warmer. And We are testing out the new containers. We're testing out some new wicks. So we're doing quite a bit of testing today. Like I said, I've got the one candle lit, which has been lit for a few hours now. Because I didn't want y'all sitting on a string for 4 hours waiting to see what a final result is. So I lit this candle roughly about 2 hours before the stream. And then I've got the one that I didn't light. Down one more notch, because we are slightly high. Looks like that's all it needs though, just that one notch down. Because we're at 190, we need to be at 180, 185. Like I said, I've had it on a while. Alright. So, there's that. Alright, let's put Cherry Blossom up somewhere. Okay, she's put away for now. Alright, so we are going to turn on the hot glue gun. We're going to get our containers ready. Well, these are big containers anyway, for the moment. Now these are going to be testers, as I said. The fragrance we're going to be working with is Mahogany Woods. Okay, and this is a fragrance we have used before, so we know the fragrance is perfect. Okay, now unfortunately I do not have any centering pieces for my wood wicks yet. Those will actually be printed once I get the printer next week. Because, no offense, but I am not paying $9 for one single wood wick centering thing when I can print my own for like 50 cents. So, you can kind of see where I'm going with that. And since I will be doing these candles in batches of, 15 to 20 at a time, if I print a bunch of the sorry, my brain seems to be going wick centering devices, I'll be good there. And now that I have the wicks that I'm hoping will do exactly what I want them to, and fire up exactly how I want them to, and all of that, and they've got that nice crackle sound. Hold on. Okay, so these wood wicks here, I know a lot of everybody says don't buy your candle stuff off of Amazon. Well, you know what? I bought this package of wicks off of Amazon, and I like them. They're actually working very well. And you're probably asking, well, if they're good, and then why'd you get different ones? Because I can't get these in bulk. and they only had the one size, which it, I believe is a medium wick. Yeah, it's a medium wick. And for my 8-ounce containers, I needed a large wick. So while these were great, they are pretty much now strictly for home use, for things that I make for me to use at home. The same with the glass jars, because I only got a couple, so those will be, you know, reused for home use. And then these will be the actual production sets, you know, the little ones and the medium ones. I may eventually do bigger candles, but for now I am starting out small and working my way up from there. You know, we know our wax is good. We know our fragrance is good. You know, and thankfully all of the fragrances that I chose can be used for both candles and soaps. And there's a reason I say that. And it's because tomorrow I should actually be receiving some more supplies, and it's the supplies I need to be able to make foaming hand soap. And so not only do we have these awesome smelling candles, we'll have foaming hand soap, we have regular soap. Give me 1 second and I'll pull out a couple. And the ones I'm pulling out are ones that I made for personal use. They were some of the very first ones that I did. And you can tell, you know, on at least the square ones, you can tell they're some of the first ones that I did, but they still smell so good, and they still work. They're just, you know, not as pretty as I would make them for, you know, to sell them. So first we have, I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah, I need a better camera. Or at least better light. Let me see. Alright, let me try and switch back to the main camera again. Okay. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better on the screen. Okay, simple, tree of life. But you can see it's kind of funky in on the corner there. You can really see it. Oh, you can't, well, you can see it dips in over here, and it's super thin, and it's, you know, thumb. This was the very, very first one. And this particular soap, that's an oatmeal. Jasmine. Okay, so there's, again, same design, just different color. I was experimenting. I have to heat up the mold for those because it's kind of funky. Okay. This one, God, that smells so good. Yeah, let's not light our watch on fire, shall we? Okay, yeah, this is another oatmeal. Okay, these came out a lot better because the mold was a lot better. But again, they are still some of the very first ones that I had done, so they're not the greatest. Lots of bubbles on the bottom, lots and lots of bubbles. That's another one. They smell so good. That one. Oh, that's the experiment I did with the two-tone. Well, dual scent, I should say. This one is a jasmine and sage. I almost don't want to use them at all because they smell so good. I know, but that defeats the purpose, doesn't it? But those are the ones that I have right now handy to show. I do have production ones, but they are packed away in the other room for events. Let me put these back away so they're not in the way. Now, those aren't the only testers we have. I have literally, in my bathroom, my sink has one of those kind of lips along the back, and I've got a bunch of soaps sitting on the ledge, right under the mirror. And it looks adorable because they're all different colors and, the pretty designs and everything. So, but those are all my experimental ones. They're all for personal use. There's some in there for that are sandalwood scented. There's some in there that's jasmine. Some in there that's sage. Some that's jasmine and sage. There's even a couple of cherry blossoms in there. So I do play with my soaps quite a bit and experiment to make sure I have everything right before that I actually put them up for sale. Okay, so we'll have the bar soaps, the foaming hand soap, 8-ounce candles, 4-ounce crystal candles. Okay, so most of that, everything but the regular bar soap, all of that is going to be fairly new to our market. The people who have bought from me before at my markets are used to my wickless candles, which, friendly. There we go. That's one of my labels for the wickless candle. This one in particular is no longer wickless because this was a tester that I had done, and when all the scent had left it, I said, you know what, I'm going to reuse the jar. So I reused it, and I put a wood wick in here so I can test these jars to see how they do with the wood wicks. Basically pure curiosity. Because these little mason jars are not that expensive, so I can get some of these and use some of these for both my wickless candles and some wicked candles. But this particular candle still has another week to cure before it can be lit. So that one can't be done today. But alright, let's test our wax again. Good stir so the temperature is nice and even throughout. I really don't have to lean up the temperature I need, I can see. Okay, 140. 150. 160, and we're slowing down. 182. We are just a hair over 180, so we are at perfect temperature. So, put it over there for right now. You know I'm gonna need that. Like I said, I can get a little scattered. Okay, let's go back to the craft screen so you all can see what I'm doing here. And I'm hoping everything sounds okay. You know, voice is working okay and all that kind of stuff. I can't really, you know, hear myself while I'm actually doing this, so, let's see. Okay. I do have the chat display. Even if you watched 2 weeks ago when we were on, and I was commenting how I needed to do something so I could be able to see when people chat. If you chat, I can see it. If you comment on the stream or stuff like that, go into the chats or whatever, I can see that. You know, we don't mind talking, not at all. We don't mind communications. Okay, so yeah, breaking out of scale. Yeah, like I said, 2 weeks ago when I did the stream then, it was bad. I was all kinds of just bad. I don't know how else to explain that. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my jars. Ooh, there's stuff in there. Just a little bit of dusties. Anyway, I'm going to take one of my jars. Well, I'm going to take all my jars, and I'm going to weigh them in grams, so I know exactly how much these jars weigh. So when I weigh my candle, I can deduct the jar weight, and I know exactly what my candle weighs. So right now, okay, the white one comes out to 31 grams. Maybe I did that too quick. And the black one at 29. Okay, my little one. I can't, alright. I can't necessarily see your comments in the video, but I can see them popping up on my computer. Hello, Miss Carrie. Okay, so something is funky here. So we got the black one. Let's try that again. 20 grams. The white one. 22. Okay, so the white ones are slightly heavier, probably because more paint required, but who knows. Trying to make sure there's no dust or anything in there, because that can make a difference. Okay, 20. 20. Okay, so these are the exact same weight. My 4-ounce jars are 20 grams each. Try these one more time. Make sure I got everything out of the container. $30. Okay, now we are good. These are 30. So we got 20 grams and 30 grams for the containers. Turn the scale off for right now. And I am going to write that down so I don't forget. Oops. I'll pick them up in a minute. There it is. Okay. 4-ounce, 20 grams. And 8-ounce is 30 grams. aside because we don't need it right this second. And let me open up this. Sorry guys, 1 second. Okay, sorry, I was reading a message. Okay, let me go here. Wrong profile. Okay, there we go. Okay. So now I actually have Facebook open just in case for some reason it doesn't want to. I gotta mute that. Just in case my software isn't relaying the chats. This way I can double check and make sure. Because I know most people who communicate on the streams communicate through Facebook. So. Okay. And I think I'm on the right screen. I need more monitors. Alright. So we're going to check this temperature one more time, just to make sure since I left the lid off. We're still good. Oh, and I just dropped my phone out. Alright. So, put that lid back. Alright. I'm actually not going to be using the pouring pot because I'm only doing the couple of candles. So, I've got those over there. This is for my fragrance. And I cheated. Okay, let's see if you can see that there. I've got the weight of each of these in marker listed on these to make it super easy, at least for me anyway. Okay, so, and these are great for these little containers when you're only doing, you know, a few, because you can literally measure out exactly 8 ounces and go from there, because it is an 8-ounce container. But I like, so far, measuring out in grams, it's a lot more accurate. put a mat on my floor for any drip. Okay. Turn that on. Okay, so right now this says 287. And then you minus the 82. Alright, so I got 205 grams of wax in there. So we need 20 grams of fragrance oil. So I've got the little container on my scale and zeroed out so it's not counting the weight of my little silicone here. And I'm sorry, I know I'm doing this off camera, but I'm kind of limited on space, so. Okay. Now we've got 20 grams of fragrance. We are not adding any color. Okay, and I'll explain that in a minute. Ooh, I don't like this lid. It doesn't want to go on there properly. Okay, so we've got our fragrance, our wax. Stir is over here. Put the fragrance in and start stirring. Minimum 2 minutes while you're stirring. That's minimum. And like I said 2 weeks ago on the last stream, one of the easiest ways to time it if you don't have a way to time it or anything like that. You know how they tell you when you wash your hands, sing happy birthday, and that equals out to roughly about 30 seconds. Basically do that 4 times and you've got your 2-minute marker. Apparently I've got kitties trying to get in the room. Yes, I know that wasn't quite 2 minutes, but I'm going to let it sit for a minute. I mean, it's got to cool before I can pour anyway, so I'll let it sit for just a little bit. And then I'll check the temperature, but while I'm letting that cool slightly. Come on, work for me. Thank you.
full stick of it.
You. Now these will probably get trimmed even slightly lower before they get lit, because you don't want them to be any more than about roughly a 1/4 inch above the wax. Quarter inch? Quarter inch. Okay, you want to pour it about 130. Amazing how quick the wax cools once you add your fragrance. Well, it's also because the fragrance is cold, so it helps bring the temperature down. But it's not quite there yet. We're at about 140 right now. And as you can see, what I used to stir is just basically a silicone covered popsicle stick. And I like it because it doesn't create a bunch of oils or bubbles in there, and make it even harder to deal with. Check the temperature again. I really need to get me a little digital thermometer to handle it. Maybe not. We'll see. Now, if I remember correctly, let me just double check something real quick. try to pour, now this is my opinion, but try to pour as slow as you can, for a couple of reasons. One, it kind of helps lessen the amount of bubbles that you get in the candle. And I've also noticed, when I tend to pour slow like this, I get less cave-ins and tunneling. I had a feeling that might be the case. Okay, so these end up being, they might be 8-ounce containers, but they hold 6-ounce wax. Yeah, 6 ounces. So we got that one there. Don't let it drippy too much because that creates bubbles. Okay, so we need another 4 ounces of wax in here. But of course we're going to do a full 8 because we got the little containers too. Okay. So put that right there. Separate that. Yeah, let's just leave that off to the side. Or else the outer edges will cool faster than the inside and cause cave-ins, at least from my experience. Okay, so let's put this on the scale so we know exactly how much we got in here. Same as the last one. Gotta love that. Okay, which means we need 20 grams of fragrance. So, zero off the scale. Now we can do 20 grams of fragrance. Minimize that. Alright, I'm going to switch screens so y'all might be able to see what I'm doing here. And I'll drop this down a little because thankfully it's right on my laptop. Okay, you can see a little bit of my scale here. There we go. Zeroed it back out. So now I can pick this up. See how much that weighs. Just a little bit back in the bottom. Okay, this particular wax can hold up to 11% fragrance. On average, I use 10. So for me, this is perfect. All right, prop this up a little bit more. Hi. Okay, and switch screens again, back over to the craft screen. Okay, now we are going to mix in our fragrance. Let's get a couple of air bubbles out of here. There we go. Now, over the course of the next couple of weeks, you'll notice changes as I go on to streams, because this room is going to be redone slightly, so I can find homes for all the supplies. But we have our software that's allowing us to stream simultaneously to our Essence page on Facebook and my personal page, as well as YouTube. So we're basically covering all three at once. Alright, so can't pour that. See? Rain. Let's take the temperature, see where we're at. Optimal pouring temperature for this particular wax is between 125 and 145. I got a 20-degree variance on it. I like to stay right around 130, 135, kind of in the middle. Right at the top of that at the 145, so I'll give it a couple more minutes. And I can say already, so far, it smells incredible. But I'm also smelling the straight fragrance. And it's mixed with the cherry blossom. I keep forgetting that candle's lit. fingernail extra. And I absolutely love using wood wicks in all these. Not only do I not get all the soot from like the cotton wicks, but they make this beautiful crackle sound. And we are at 135. Alright. Let's go with the little one first. And that was why I wanted to start with the little one. Oops. Most likely gonna have to take the heat wand to this one, which is fine. Okay. So the only one left to do is this one here. But before we do that one, let's see. The jar was 20 grams. So let's see what this is. This is now. Okay. So the candle is about 100 grams. Okay, so that's not too bad. Okay, so these little ones end up being 3.5 ounce candles. And let's see. The big one, or the medium one, I should say, ends up being 7 ounces. Okay, I can work with that. this down. So 20 grams. And 8-ounce. Double check that just to be on the safe side here. Okay, so 220. Why am I going now? 220. Okay, so the 8-ounce jar ends up being 7.7 ounces. Take that back. Give me a second. Because it's 190 is what I need. So 6.7. Okay, so the 8-ounce containers have 6.7 ounces of wax. And the 4-ounce container, which weighed in at 120. Out the 20, and yeah, those are 3.5. Alright, so roughly we got 3.5 ounce and a 6.5 ounce. So, not bad at all. Not bad. This one. Okay, let me leave this one. Actually helps quite a bit when I'm measuring. Okay. Let's see, 1, 2, that's 30, gives me 2, 12. Okay, so I need 12 grams of fragrance. Sorry, I was getting pop-ups, so I had to switch screens so I could make sure I wasn't missing anything. Knew that was going to happen eventually. And 12. We're good. These caps kind of suck. Alright. That will definitely need to be washed. Just starting in our fragrance, and we'll wait for it to cool down to temperature and pour that last candle. Now, as far as my Crystal Series ones, I will let those cure for about a week before I take my heat wand to the top a little bit. Not only will it smooth out the top slightly, but that's when I will add the crystal chips onto the top. And then after that, they'll just sit and cure for the next month. Let's check our temperature. Looks like we are right at 130. Dead on. I love it when that happens. Okay, so let's see that there. Okay, so we have okay. So we got 4 candles poured. There's still plenty of wax in there, but we're Gonna leave that for now. Let me actually turn it down to low, because I'll play with that after. Turn the glue gun off. This will have to be washed again. Okay. Okay, so I'm not sure how well y'all can see. Turn it this way because you can see a little bit better. Like I said, this was the wax that I had gotten on the first of the month. And let me tell you, if anyone is interested, this was Midwest container wax. I'll never use it again. I plan on using the rest of it to make a couple of bags of squeeze melts, because that's how soft this wax is. I mean, even after it's cured, it's too soft. And even as it's burning, you can see all the little bubbles and everything that it had. And I tried everything I could. I mean, let me see if I have... Let me grab one of the other ones. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. So this, I actually went ahead and I did this. I did 2 of these the same day that I did these candles. After the live stream that I did these. So these are fully cured. And I put this one on the warmer last night. But before I did, I mean, the top was just awful before I put it on the warmer. You can see now there's still some cave-ins and a lot of frosting on there. And this is supposed to be a container wax. I don't like it at all. You know, it has severe, and I do mean severe, frosting issues. It took me 4 times with the heat wand to get the top of this particular candle smooth, and it's not that big of a candle. Same with the one that's burning. Took me, yeah, 4 times with the heat wand to get it to come out smooth. You know, whereas this one I use my melt and tart wax for. And as you can see, it's beautifully smooth on the top, barely any frosting, and it's still a soy wax. You know, this wax that we just poured is a completely different brand, thank the Lords. You know, we've used Golden Brands before, so we knew it was a great wax, you know, going in. You know, I just tried some others to kind of give me a feel, and all it did was, you know, kind of prove to me how good the Golden Brands wax is. So, there's that. Okay, so, but this has been burning now for right about 3 hours. So the wick is great. The wick is working beautifully. It's, you know, doing what it's supposed to do. The containers have been handling beautifully. So at least there's that. This one here, find it. And I'm sorry, I forgot to change the screen. I'm bad, sorry. Okay, so we've got this little one here. Okay, so we're going to light this one. And I mean, as you can see, I already trimmed the wick, so the wick is good. We're going to put that one over here as well. And I'm not going to, sit here for the next 4 hours watching this one. We will see how it goes. Yeah. This is exactly what I mean. See, now there's a hole right up against the wick. Now the air bubbles are coming out of it. But I did everything I possibly could short of, completely reheating the wax and burning off all the fragrance to try and smooth this candle out. And get rid of some of those holes and divots. And I don't have that problem with the Golden Brands wax. So this Midwest wax was just way too much work. You should see the review left for it. Anyway, okay, so I showed you guys the soaps, at least the ones that I could, and we did the pouring of the 4 tester candles for the new containers with the Golden Brands wax. We got the 2 testers that we did last stream are lit, and I'd say they're going actually pretty good. All except for the issues that I have with the wax. But the wicks are beautiful. The containers are doing great. So that's good there. I do have a lot more fragrances that need to be tested. I went with one that, is tried and true, and we know it's a great scent, and that's the Mahogany Woods. And I did that because I didn't want these candles to be focusing on testing the fragrance load as well as the wick and the container. So the wick and the container is enough to be testing. And then once those are tested, then I can try, these containers with different scents and different ratios for my wax or my fragrance loads, and kind of get my process down. Because I know I have a couple of scents that I only use 8% fragrance in my wax. They're that strong. And then there's a couple that I use at 8% as well, and it's not that they're strong, it's just that, I mean, don't get me wrong, they smell good when they're lit, but if you put any more than the 8% fragrance, then it's like you're drowning it, because then you get no scent at all. It's a little weird, I admit, and it took me a little while to get used to something like that. Well, if I put because you automatically think, well, if I put more fragrance, it should smell stronger. No, that's not always the case, at least with candles. It's the same with soap, too. It's not always the case. So, you just gotta play with it, experiment. See what you can and cannot do. Oh, we got new colors too for our candles. Um, and speaking of which, I know I said earlier, we will not be coloring our candles. You're probably like, well, then why do you have color? Okay. The reason we're going to have color is because I am. Let me see. I'm going to grab these really quick. Probably take the price stickers off. These two are just an example, only because they're the newest ones that I just got. I haven't even rinsed them off or anything like that yet. Just tore the tags off of them. So what I am going to be doing is, see the pretty little stars, no rubber duckies. Tell me they're not cute. Anyway. So I got a bunch more in containers over here. I can showcase them next time. Right now I've got a trash can and a big box of wax sitting in front of them, so I can't really pull those containers out at the moment. And I ain't going to try and lift a 45-pound box of wax. My other half brought it in here for me. That's where it's sitting until she can move it later. So anyway, so yes, my candles are going to be staying white. And then I'll be using these guys, my little molds here, and putting basically what we call embeds around the candles. So like this candle, I purposely left this one, you know, with a little less wax in it than I did the white one. And that's because I am going to test this one with a couple of embeds. You know, so in 2 weeks when we do our stream again to test these, we will, you'll see it'll have a couple embeds on there. I'm not quite sure which ones I'm going to use yet. I'll have to go through all my molds and see what I've got. Ones that would match the, you know, mahogany wood theme would be perfect. You know, I think I've got, excuse me, I think I've got feathers not feathers, sorry, leaves. So I can do you know, mix up some wax with the mahogany woods and a little bit of brown coloring, and you know, make some brown leaves, and I think that would match really well with the mahogany leaves. So as you light the candle and the embeds start to melt, that's going to colorize the candle. You know, because it's the toppers that are going to have the coloring, but the candles themselves will be white. If y'all don't agree with that, tell me. You know, if you want me to color the candles, tell me. You know, I can only, you know, guess at what you guys would want. So, you know, as the customers, you tell me what you want. You know, that should be how it goes. At least that's how, you know, I've lived most of my life. If I want something, I tell somebody, you know, well, this is, you know, kind of how I want this. And, you know, a lot of times you get results that way. But okay, so I think that may actually be it for today. I'm just double checking everything to make sure. Okay, we covered. Oh. See? Okay, this it's on the craft screen. Good. I know you're probably going, what in the world is all that? These, my lovelies, are keychains in various colors. We've got, let's see, bronze, black, copper, silver, like an iron color, and gold. And the little eyelets and everything that go with them. Now these are specifically for our dragon keychains. Because yes, with our printer coming, hopefully this week, we will be able to start printing our own things, which means our dragon keychains are going to be some of the first printed. Okay. Let's see if that helps a little. Okay, so those are the copper ones. So, and I got the different colored keychains, that way they can kind of match the dragon. I'm a girl. What do you expect? Okay, so in the drawer of those go. And let's see. Okay, those are containers, soap, boxes, clamshells, printer, portraits, fragrance, crystals, wax. I think we are good. That is what I mean. You know, when we poured this wax 2 weeks ago, and you looked at the top of it, as it started, started to solidify, you could already see some of the issues that were going to happen. Just by, first glances, you could tell that we were going to have issues with cave-ins, and you could tell that there was going to be some massive frosting. By what I'm seeing here with this one, I don't think I'm going to have any issues with cave-ins or tunneling. Depends on how you want to word it. No, they all seem to be doing really, really well. This one might have just a tiny bit of frosting, but like I said, I don't mind frosting. Frosting, basically just, it's able to tell y'all that, I do use soy wax. I have looked into, possibly adding a little bit of, just a little bit of paraffin into my soy to kind of boost, the fragrance and everything. Because by what I understand, paraffin wax takes fragrances really, really well. But that makes sense. It is, a synthetic wax, if I'm remembering correctly. I've done so much research over the past 2 years preparing for all of this that it can get a little jumbled sometimes. Alright, let's go to the main screen here. Alright, so what I was showing you guys with this, I don't know how well you can kind of see, well, you can definitely see how it's pure white. That's all frosting all along here. Which, again, not a huge deal, but the fact that I can put my finger on this and make a dent in the middle tells me this wax is way too soft. Now, because I'm not that strong. So, that was made with the Midwest container wax. And I'm wondering, I'm going to try something. Y'all need to tell me if you can hear this or not. AC's on, so I can't. When all is quiet in the house and the cats are sleeping, and I've got a candle going with these wood wicks, it's beautiful. You get that beautiful aroma surrounding you, and then you get the slight, very quiet crackle of the wood, and it's so relaxing and so soothing. Yeah. Now, I have a badass microphone. Hold on, switching screens. I have a badass microphone. um, but I'm still not sure if it can pick up the crackling of the wood wick. And that one's super light. Alright, well, this one we are going to, as soon as I find them, trim the wick out. Flames are getting just a little tall. And I can't really tell where the level is at, so let's see. Well, at least definitely better than it was. Alright, so I am going to leave these lit for a few more hours. Well, this one only for about an hour more. But the little one still has another 4 hours since it was just lit. But, like I said, the wicks are doing great. The containers, the glass containers are doing great. It's just the wax that I have the issue with. The fragrance is great. And those were the fragrances from Plant Guru. Now, I'm still using the Plant Guru fragrances. Okay? Going back to the main screen. And pushing my microphone back up. Okay, so as I was saying, I am still using the Plant Guru fragrances. I know you're like, but you've got a whole crap ton of the Lone Star on the bamboo tray over there. Yes, I do. But that does not mean that they have everything that I want. So besides the 10 containers that I have in the drawers, I also have, turn off this big one. Here we go. I also have, bottles from Plant Guru for the fragrances that I can't get through Lone Star, like my Japanese Cherry Blossom. Y'all are gonna love this one. And Lick Me All Over. I can get butt naked through Lone Star, but I can't get Lick Me All Over. So, as of right now, the Lick Me All Over and the Butt Naked are our 2 best-selling fragrances. So, I can't not have either one of those. And yeah, I could have gotten them both through Plant Guru. Their prices are comparable for their fragrance oils. And the quality is comparable. But the main thing comes in with shipping costs. Where Plant Guru most of the time I can get a lot of those off Amazon, so I don't have to pay shipping. And when I order through Lone Star, I order a lot. Because that's the only way the shipping is really worth it. And you kind of see the load that I just received, which is, in total it was like an 85 pounds of supplies between the wax and the fragrance oils and the wicks and all of that, so shipping really wasn't that bad. And the fact that it literally, the day I placed the order, I placed it late in the day, so the next day I got an email saying the order was in the fulfillment process. That afternoon the label was printed for them to ship it out, and the next day, so late Wednesday evening, or let me think, I got it on Friday. FedEx picked it up on Thursday. They printed the label the day before on Wednesday. I placed the order Tuesday night, and I had everything at my home by Friday morning. And shipping was very reasonable, so definitely worth it. And like I said, they're only a 2.5, 3 hour drive south of me. I'm in Oklahoma, in Midwest City, right on the outskirts of Oklahoma City. So I'm not that far from Texas. Honestly, I want to move back to Texas, but it's just me. I don't really care for Oklahoma too much. But that's only because of the tornadoes. They can get you in Texas too, but not as often. But alrighty, I think that will cover pretty much everything for today, and we can basically say c'est la vie for tonight. And we will see you again in 2 weeks, unless something comes up and I decide to go a week early. But that is it for today, everybody. So hopefully you join us again in 2 weeks, which I believe I have it scheduled already on the calendar. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be May 5th. I did a lot of work on the website the past couple of weeks. So feel free to, go and take a look and see everything that's been done. Our locations page, where we'll be, what we're doing, all that kind of stuff. I really need to rename it to our events page, because now it not only has the locations that we'll be at for markets, but now it also has the calendar that lists all of our streaming sessions that we are scheduling out in advance. For anyone that is watching, if you look at our Facebook page, there is a post on there about our streams, because we are going to have to change the day, not necessarily the time, but that's up to y'all, of our streams, because going back out to the markets and everything, we start doing that in June. So our weekends are going to be pretty booked. So Saturday and Sunday streams are not going to be possible unless we're doing them pretty late in the evening. So I basically put together a 2-question survey that will help me determine what day and what times would be best for the streams, based on y'all's answers. So if you wouldn't mind, go to that post and click on the link for the survey. Like I said, it's very simple. 2-question multiple choice. What day? It gives you 4 days to choose from. What time? It gives you 4 or 5 times to choose from, time slots. Now, that's it. That's all you got to do. And it would be extremely appreciated That way come June we can readjust and prepare to have our still have our live streams while still doing the markets. But yep, so please, if you wouldn't mind, it would be greatly appreciated. Other than that, we are done. Because I can't think of anything else, and I don't see anything else. At least not yet. Like I said, we got some deliveries coming tomorrow. So I may do a stream next week. I may, throw in an impromptu one or schedule one out. It depends. I'll play with some more stuff and kind of see what's going on through the week as far as my wife is concerned. We're rearranging a lot, especially the workshop. We have a garage that we converted into a what we call the workshop, and it basically got a huge crafting table, and it is climate controlled. It's got a portable AC unit in there and a little box heater and everything to keep it warm in the winter. But we've got a few crafting tables, a ton of tools and lights and all kinds of stuff. So we're redoing that, so I have storage room in there because that is my climate controlled area, to be able to have all my stuff packed up and ready to go to the markets. That's all my ready to go stuff. So I have a storage, full section in there with storage area, on top of all the crafting areas and everything. So we're trying to get that area organized and better functioning, better flow for us to be able to maneuver. We've been working on our network extensively. So if you have seen our website go down, I really, really do apologize, because it is not hosted outside. We host it ourselves. I build it, we host it. We rely on nobody for our websites. So things have been in flux for the past few weeks, and rearrangements and things like that have been going on. So we will kind of see how the week goes and then go from there. But yeah, okay. So we will possibly see you next weekend, but if not, then we will definitely see you on the 5th. Okay? So have a good one, y'all. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Blessed be.